They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
All right, guys. So generally in fantasy basketball, I mean, these rookies are not necessarily players that are going to win you your league. I mean, generally these guys are, yes, players that we want to use as depth, that, yes, have some upside to contribute to our starting lineup every single time they play. But this isn't fantasy football. I mean, you're not going to have the rookie running back or the rookie point guard coming out and completely just demolishing all your league mates when you were able to get him at the very end. Regardless, there's still some value to be had with some of these rookie players. And I think after Lamelo Ball has been killing it the past week, this is the time where we really need to focus in on these rookies and try to evaluate the guys that could possibly take the next step up and see what players are worth maybe going out there picking up off the waiver wire, what players maybe you may need to go out there and actually trade for, and if you should do that or not. But before we get into the video, guys, as always, go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out so much. And y'all have been doing a fantastic job. I mean, generally, these videos will have about 1,000 views in the first day and close to 100 likes. If we could get that number up to 200 likes, I'm telling you right now, if y'all get this video to 200 likes in the first day it's uploaded, I will start going through and I'll start uploading 2 videos a day, one in the morning, one at night, if we see that kind of support. But until then, at the very least, I'll be getting y'all a video every single day. And let's dive into this. And these rookies I'm going to be talking about are all rookies that are currently averaging over 25 minutes a game. Because if you're not averaging over 25 minutes a game, generally you're not a player I think we need to be looking at. And here, our first player averaging a ridiculous 35 minutes a game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was selected with the 5th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. This is obviously Isaac Okoro. And here, right now, although he is averaging 35 minutes a game, I mean, I don't understand why. He is really providing the Cavaliers nothing on the offensive side of the ball. And generally, that's where you expect the rookies to make an impact right away. Maybe you can get some shooters coming in like a Tyler Hero. Maybe you can get someone in that's a little bit dynamic and transition. But right now with Isaac, I mean, you're not really getting any of that. He's averaging less than 10 points a game, and he's doing this with bad efficiency at the same time. So you can't even come out here and say, well, he may not be a good point league play, but if you're playing in a category league, we can look at him. No, I mean, that's not the case. Right now, it's intriguing. I did not expect him to see nearly this type of usage in the rotation with 35 minutes. It's going to be interesting to see how this Cleveland Cavaliers roster looks a month from now after the trade deadline, because I'm expecting this to be a team that is going to be making some moves just because, I mean, they have an intriguing young core. I mean, they have Colin Sexton, they have Jarrett Allen, and I think what they are going to look to do is possibly move in Andre Drummond if they can. I don't know if it's going to be possible. They would love to get Kevin Love off this roster, but we know that his contract really makes that a tall task to be had. But regardless, it doesn't matter. I mean, with Isaac, this is not a player that I think we need to be prioritizing, because even with him seeing about as many minutes per game as he possibly can, still not giving us the production in points, not even in rebounds or assists, where he's averaging about 2 rebounds, 2 assists a game. So it doesn't matter if you play in a category league or a point league. There's no reason to right now be rostering the 5th pick from the 2020 NBA draft. Now, on the other hand, the player that is currently 2nd among rookies in minutes per game has been on fire. I mean, he looks like he was the favorite to be Rookie of the Year about 2 weeks ago. Now, obviously, it's looking like that's going to be Lonzo Ball. But right now, with Tyrese Haliburton, I mean, he is looking like an impact player for the Sacramento Kings. With 29 minutes a game, he was possibly the best value to be had in the NBA draft this past offseason. I know it's extremely early on in these players' careers, so it's kind of hard to go through and give any given player that label right now. But he fell all the way to the 12th pick, almost out of the lottery entirely, and he is giving the Kings production pretty much everywhere they need it. I mean, also for fantasy basketball, it doesn't matter if you are playing in a points league. It doesn't matter if you're playing in a category league because the efficiency's there. I mean, he has a very high three-point percentage. He is shooting a decent amount of threes at the same time. So you're getting production that way. I mean, he has a decent points per game, but the efficiency, just to point out, because that's one question we always have with these rookies, is decent, where it's not going to kill you for those category leagues where he is shooting 48% from the field, rebounding 4 rebounds a game, 5.5 assists a game at the same time, and he is giving you a decent amount of steals. So Tyrese Haliburton, it doesn't matter if you're playing in a points league, it doesn't matter if you're playing in a category league. Obviously, this is a player that you have been using, and I think based on how he has played at the beginning portion of this season, this is only someone that's going to get better. I mean, there is no reason to expect him to slow down in the slightest. So with Haliburton, if you could go out there and maybe trade a player that is producing a little bit more right now, that you think has a limited ceiling or possibly should see his minutes reduced going forward for Haliburton, who I think is only just now getting started, that would make a ton of sense. All right, so now our next rookie, third in the list of minutes per game, is going to be Cole Anthony. And obviously, if you looked at his minutes per game whenever Markelle Fultz had his knee injury afterwards, the numbers would be a little bit higher. But just looking at the season-long numbers right now, they're still inspiring enough to go, you know what? I mean, right now, he has enough minutes per game where Cole Anthony is a player that is going to be getting the ball enough where he can be an impact guy for point leagues because he's the one bringing it up. I mean, he has 4 assists a game, also giving you close to 5 rebounds a game and decent production from beyond the arc. The one thing here with Cole Anthony, on the other hand, is if you're playing in a category league, I mean, this is someone that you do not want. I mean, this is someone shooting less than 40% from the field. And while I expect that to probably get a little bit better as the season goes on, still, that's a number that's so bad right now that he could outright lose you your category any given week with field goal percentage. So Cole Anthony, a player that I like to continue to provide you rebounds, assists, and possibly some more point production for those point leagues. And knowing that Markelle Fultz is definitely out for the rest of the season with the torn ACL, we all know that. Cole Anthony is one of the few players on this list that I could see taking that next step as soon as some of those shots start falling in and maybe that efficiency gets bumped up to 45% from the field. Then I think Cole Anthony could be an impact player for those points leagues. But now let's go to the player where I know everybody is wanting us to talk about him because he has been ridiculous as of late. I mean, Lamelo Ball's last 5 games, he has been doing something that we have not seen from a rookie in a very long time. I mean, outside, obviously, of the Ja Morant, outside of the Zion Williamson, Lamelo Ball is making an impact in almost every single statistical category. And I know if you listen to a lot of just regular NBA analysts, you hear Lamelo Ball, horrible defender, horrible defender, horrible defender. They are a much worse defensive team when LaMelo is on the court versus when he is not. And while that may be true, it doesn't even matter on that end because over the last 5 games, LaMelo Ball, while he is a bad defender overall, is still willing to take the chances to go out there and jump the passing lane where he is averaging close to 2 steals a game. And while this is something that we're not going to expect going forward, it's still something that we need to take note of. And this is something a lot of people get wrong in fantasy basketball. They just go, okay, he's a good defender in real life. That means he's going to be providing me steals and blocks, or he's a bad defender in real life. That means I should not expect anything in those categories. Where no, LaMelo Ball, I mean, he is someone that, I mean, for a lack of better word, I mean, he has the balls to go out there and put himself on the line to jump the passing lane to get those steals. And we know he is going to be fantastic with assists. I mean, over the last 5 games, he's giving you 7 assists a game. Over the last 5 games also, because he is a massive guard, he's giving you 5.5 rebounds. And more importantly, 23 points. And I know his shot looks funky, but he is willing to shoot it from beyond the arc, which is allowing him to rack up these kind of numbers. So LaMelo, by far and away, the number 1 rookie that you would want on your team. And if you have a league mate that may not necessarily be paying attention to the Lamelo Ball ascension that is happening right now, go out there and see what that price point is. Go out there and see if you can trade someone for Lamelo Ball, as he could be one of the few players on this list that is a league winner later on. All right, well, now let's go over to a player that was drafted with the first pick overall. Someone that I swear to God we've talked about like every single video this week, and this is Anthony Edwards. And now, Edwards is a player that I know a lot of people were just laughing at the Timberwolves for taking with the first pick overall about 2 weeks into the season. After they looked at LaMelo with his flashy plays, they were going, what is going on? Why would you take Anthony Edwards? But over the last 5 games, I mean, this player that is an athletic freak, that is still extremely young. I mean, guys, I encourage you, go just watch Anthony Edwards play. You look at him on the court compared to some of these other veterans, and Anthony Edwards straight up looks like a child. I mean, he looks like he should not be out there. He is so young. And over his last 5, I mean, he's averaging 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and he's giving you half a steal and half a block a game. And with Edwards, I mean, it's all about athleticism. And what kind of sucks right now is, where is Karl Anthony Towns? I mean, once Karl Anthony Towns comes back into the lineup, I think Anthony Edwards is going to get much better looks from the opposing rotation in terms of their defensive sets, their defensive attention, and Anthony Edwards should see that bump up. But right now, I mean, the Timberwolves really have nobody in their rotation that opposing defenses need to key in on. So it's kind of hard to get anything to open up. But once Karl Anthony Towns comes in, I think while the overall usage rate for Anthony Edwards may slightly go down, I think the efficiency should definitely go up. All right, so now the last player that we are going to talk about is the last rookie that is averaging over 25 minutes a game. And this is going to be Patrick Williams. And so here with Patrick Williams, I mean, we all know he was drafted 4th overall this past draft. And I've been impressed. I mean, I was not expecting this. And I know a lot of people want to just harp in on that he's not going to give you any assists. But, I mean, we know that at the very least, this big man is willing to put up the 3 ball. He's willing to shoot from beyond the arc. And while it's not with volume yet, you need to at least see some of those attempts. You need to at least see, okay, he's averaging about 2 or 3 3-point shots a game. That's enough for me. That means he can continue to develop in that lane. And then here, also, over the last 5 games, I mean, he's giving you 14 points. Over the last 3 games, he's giving you 8 rebounds a game at the same time. And we know that the Bulls are going to be playing fast. We know that the Bulls are going to have a very bad team and that the possessions are going to be jacked up. And Patrick Williams should be someone that is seeing heavy minutes going forward based on the fact that, really, what else are you playing for if you're the Chicago Bulls outside of trying to get your young studs some minutes, some development? And I think Patrick Williams is another player on this list that we could point out to take a jump. All right, now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton, and I will see y'all with the video tomorrow.